Sergeant and Mrs. Smith, you're going to love this house.
Is that a tub in the kitchen?
There's no field manual for finding the right home. But when you do, USAA Homeowners Insurance can help protect it the right way. Restrictions apply.
At Sephora, we know how you love to use makeup, skincare, hair care, and fragrances that work for you, but also how important it is to be in the know about the ingredients that are in them, which is why we created Clean at Sephora. Curated products from brands like Merit, Amika, Summer Fridays, and Fleur that have everything you want, minus certain ingredients you might not. Clean at Sephora is only at Sephora. Shop now at Sephora.com.
The world of medicine, where every decision can change lives, your peace of mind is crucial. This is where Pattern steps in. Imagine insurance made simple, fast, and personalized just for you. With Pattern, you're not just getting disability and life insurance, you're ensuring your future and protecting your greatest asset, your income. In the past 10 years, Pattern has transformed the way over 20,000 doctors secure their financial well-being. Discover the simplicity of securing your future at patternlife.com or click the link in the description.
We work hard as physicians to take care of the health and well-being of our patients. But when it comes to our money, do we have the same condition of care? Probably not. Let's change that together. Welcome to the Financial Freedom for Physicians podcast, where we'll fight and advocate for your financial literacy. As always, I'm your host, Dr. Christopher Liu. Thanks for being here. Let's jump into the show. Hey guys, welcome to this week's podcast episode, and I'm really delighted to have today's guest, Mark Stern. And today's talk is all about advertising, media, entrepreneurship, and he's got a really interesting slant on gamification, which I'm happy to hear him elaborate. And I'm happy to welcome Mark to the show. Welcome, Mark.
It's great to be here. Excited for this.
Yeah, I know. We had connected through Podmatch, and you've supported lifestyle brands, Deloitte, and you've done a lot of things. So talk about how you transitioned and what your company and service does, and the resources it can provide to the audience.
Yeah. I know. I grew up in Alabama. I'll start way at the beginning, but it's I always thought there was only one pathway to like having a fulfilled life, and that was because everyone around me, there was no entrepreneurs around me. So everyone graduated high school, they went to college, graduated college, you get the job, then you go to grad school. I got my MBA at Duke, and afterwards worked at Deloitte Consulting for years. And so I graduated in 2012. I was $165,000 in student loan debt. And I just thought I was crushing life at the time. And then you kind of realize I have all this debt, and now I have this 2-year commitment at minimum at this big consulting firm. And if anyone knows, big consulting firms and big tech companies, like when you work with them, you sign over everything you own or produce. Like everything you produce is owned by the firm. So like having a side hustle or business outside of Deloitte just wasn't an option, which is stifling when you have this entrepreneur spirit. But I got bit by the digital marketing bug and like kind of learned about this realm of online entrepreneurship. Yeah. Like in 2013 at a conference I had no business being at. And it kind of like shattered my bubble and made me realize that there's other pathways to leading a fulfilling life. And it took me until 2018 to finally make the leap and say, okay, if I truly want to explore and scratch this itch, like I knew what Deloitte would look like through partnership, and that's the rest of my life. But there was something intriguing about entrepreneurship that was unknown, and finally found the courage in 2018 to leave Deloitte. I loved Deloitte, but had no idea what it was that I wanted to do. And when I made that leap, to answer your original question, it was I started doing these virtual events online. and I had modeled other virtual online experiences that I had seen. And it was this awesome medium to interview these experts. But what I hated about it was like I like produced hours and hours. We're talking like 40 to 50 hours worth of content.
Yeah.
And I would dump it on my listener, and it was all over the place, unstructured. And when people would do this for things that I participated, I was just like, I just wish people would send me some supporting tools and resources so I can have a breakthrough or get an outcome faster. And so that's what I did. It was an accidental business, custom box agency. I did this for my own products and services, virtual events, courses, coaching programs. And I was getting so much organic traffic of people unboxing and people getting so excited about receiving something in the mail that supported the thing that they had bought. That when COVID happened, it was one of those things that was, you see the digital marketing space, the online space explode because we're all in quarantine, we're at home. And rather than going more digital, going physical to complement the digital became this new opportunity that was very strategic. It was all about getting into the customer journey and understanding the customer journey. And through that, I can help say, what are the tools and resources and how do we get people results faster by truly gamifying their business and sending people the tools they need. So everything you need is inside the box. You don't have to go buy anything. And you're instantly set up for success to get the outcome of the product or service that you bought. So that's kind of like where it all came from. But since then, it's just been such a fun ride to see how we get more and more sophisticated on how to enable physical to provide this new opportunity for digital.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. And what I'm always interested is in the field of ideas, and this idea of experiential marketing trends is really interesting. It's kind of the first time I've heard of it, and you're integrating digital and physical. What are the next big trends in experiential marketing that businesses should be looking for or preparing for now?
Yeah, I like to think of, so like words that I love immersion. I love the idea of an immersive experience. So you're seeing a lot of things with AI, you're seeing a lot of things with augmented reality and virtual reality that are coming in. For me, like there's so much that's great with augmented and virtual reality. I just don't think we're ready for it yet. And so what's really cool about how when I think about experience is seen through the senses. So if we're talking about senses, we're talking about touch, taste, sound, smell. What am I missing? Touch, taste, sound, smell, sight. And when you think of like a digital experience, it only taps into what you see and what you hear. So scrolling through Facebook and Instagram is what you see. YouTube, what you see and what you hear. A podcast, what you hear. They're only competing for two senses. The cool thing about introducing something physical to complement digital is now I can introduce and activate senses that you're just not able to do with a digital only product. That kinesthetic, the touch, the taste, the smell. And you have to think about it when we think about like, when we think of experience, Disney, one of the like most iconic, they understand experiences because it's so immersive. It activates all the senses. Like when you go to a live event versus watching it virtually, when you attend a concert live versus virtual, when you eat in a restaurant versus takeout, like all these experiences stimulate in such a different way. That this is kind of where like the cool thing about Box, and when we start to think about experiences at home, I can create something that activates the senses that you just can't with a digital only product. And through that, it is a new opportunity.
Forget the burdens of tenants and toilets. Equity Multiple simplifies your investment journey, letting you invest passively embedded, professionally managed commercial real estate. Only 5% of reviewed investments reach Equity Multiple's platform, with our asset management working on each from funding through exit to maximize your returns. Whether you're on the couch, in your exec chair, or the backseat of a ride share, Equity Multiple brings cash flowing real estate investments straight to your fingertips. All investments involve risk. Visit equitymultiple.com to learn more. Yeah, the other question, because we're going to, I love talking about technology integration, and, because, Apple just came out with their headset. I still think it's early, but how might businesses leverage these technologies like the Oculus or the Apple headset or just kind of virtual reality to enhance customer experiences? If you can give it some examples from your clients.
Yeah, it's interesting. So when you're getting into like some of those future technologies, I mean, artificial augmented reality and virtual reality have been around since what, the 1970s, 60s. They've been around for decades. They just haven't become more mainstream as they are today. And so part of what you have to realize is adoption and mass adoption doesn't happen overnight. It takes years and years and years. And I'll use as an example, I think one of the most underrated technologies that exists today that I think right now is much more in the forefront and easier to leverage and more mainstream than augmented reality and virtual reality is just the beauty of a QR code. And when QR codes came out, I remember thinking like, who's going to use this? But the reality is when COVID happened, COVID taught us, the restaurant industry showed us how to use QR codes. They became massively adopted. And the best part about it is, like, unlike some augmented reality experiences that you need to download an app or go through a browser, I can scan a QR code with the simplicity of my phone camera. My phone camera, everything that we have, I don't have to download anything. You open up your camera and you can leverage that. The cool thing about QR codes that I think is untapped is I would encourage people to stop looking at QR codes as an opportunity to see the menu at the restaurant and start to think of business applications for it. Because the reality is, it is a portal to take you from a physical thing to a digital experience. And what's really cool, and this is why we love QR codes, because of the simplicity and the mass adoption. It's so much more easily available to people. But what people don't know is how versatile a QR code is. So we built our own QR code platform. One of the things that it can do, and this is kind of where I was curious about, was instead of it being the thing you access a menu, can this be a means that I can beam information to you? So as an example, is it possible to put a QR code on a water bottle? And if you scan it Monday, let's just say you were in the health and fitness space, it's the Monday workout or the Monday yoga session. But if you scan it Tuesday, it changes into the Tuesday workout or the Tuesday yoga session. So all of a sudden, a QR code is now a means to beam information to you. And it's something that's easily accessible. But because it's a QR code, and if you leverage, QR codes can be static, which means you can't change them, or it could be dynamic, which means you can go in and reroute at any point in time. I can create a system that every time you scan it, depending on when you scan it, it can provide a new experience. And one of the things we are constantly looking at, since we play with physical products, is I don't want to send you something that you ultimately take and you throw out. I want it to be something that you save. So if it's not a water bottle, it could be a sticker that you put next to your mouse on your laptop. It could be a magnet we put on your fridge that when you scan it every month, it provides a new list of family fun meal recipes with your brand right there on their refrigerator. But this idea of like, how can we think of QR codes differently? Can we also think of them in a way to stay relevant in front of your people?
I love that. The other thing is kind of you alluded to is kind of this personalization. And it's interesting because when you make these experiences very personal, it adds more value. And how do you scale it or how do you foresee personalization at scale through experiential marketing?
Yeah, this is something that we're starting to test and play with too. But, imagine if we were able to send you a box experience, and when you open it up, there's a QR code that you scan. And the second that you scan it, it addresses you by name. So I can send out a box to 1,000 people, 10,000 people. But the cool thing about leveraging platforms like 11 Labs that has the voice and different technologies, they also can translate video as well, is, and this was something that I saw at South by Southwest. I don't know if you're familiar with the festival in Austin, Texas, every March, but it is like my favorite event of the year. It's a benefit that I live in Austin, Texas, because it makes it a lot easier for me to go to the event and then go home and sleep in my own bed. Britain House. So there's all these activations by countries, by major brands, by publishing houses or major television networks or studios. The United Kingdom had a house that you registered to do this artificial intelligence experience where it basically walked you, through prompts to build a mid-journey graphic using artificial intelligence. And what was really cool about it was I had registered for it. It gave me a unique 4-digit code. And when I later went into the booth to go through the experience, all I did was type in the 4-digit code. And the entire time it looked at me and said, "Hello, Mark, welcome to the blah, 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 blah." So the fact that we already have the technology that exists today that can say, I can take a unique identifier like your email address and leap it into some type of database and then have the database speak back to you, I think it's incredibly powerful for you to receive a box experience that I think a lot of people, when they think of like customization, they may think of like receiving the video boxes or the video mailers, that there's a screen that may have a message. That's expensive. What we're talking about now is not expensive and it's scalable. So this is something that it's like, is it going to create a different experience if you received a box and as you went through the videos that complemented the box experience, if it was personalized to you, I think it's a game changer.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. The other thing that's really of interest is, especially in these, is this idea, because Facebook kind of started this idea of network effects and the role of communities and how they play. That's why you have these massive online communities, and just like that's why you had like, you know, GameStop and Reddit and all these 4chan. How does, you know, how can brands leverage community building as part of their experiential marketing efforts to foster a stronger connection with their audience?
Yeah, that's a great question. And part of this is, you know, with any product that you build, and I'd say it's probably different for every industry, but the power of building community is, if people are not staying for you, they may stay for the support from the community. And so it's just that added leg of saying, you know, people want to feel a part of something. They want to feel seen. They want to be part of a movement, especially if it identifies with their own values. When you have a community, it makes it easier for them to self-identify and feel a part of the process. I can say that we've had products that we built that were highly built, not because of us or because of my team, but it was because of activating the community and having the community co-create. When the community starts to co-create and shape the direction of a product or service, not only are you building products and services that are more tailored to the people, they feel more connected to what you're doing because they helped create it. They were a part of that. And that's very different than just some random thing that they come across. We want that connection. We want that relationship building. It's all part of that nurture game, which to me is a massive acquisition play, that even if people are not ready to open up their wallet to you right now, you leverage a community and they find a home and you welcome them to the home and they see themselves in that community. It's going to be a lot easier to start to convert them into clients and then to start to extend lifetime value.
Yeah. Lastly, like I said, it's very interesting. And I love how you talk about data and AI and all of this really novel technology. How can people find out more about what you do, reach out to your company, check it out, and so on and so forth?
Yeah. No, people are more than welcome to go to our website. It's just customboxagency.com. At the top right hand of the website, you can do a free consultation. You'll fill out a little form about your business, and then you can get on with a member of our team. That's one of the easiest ways. But for us, we love to delve deep into your business. So this is not like creating swag or promotional materials. It's truly going through your product and then creating the assets that need to, or helping you optimize the customer journey. Box is just our deliverable. That's our vehicle of choice. Yeah. So customboxagency.com is one way. You can always find me on LinkedIn or Facebook, and you're welcome to reach out through any of those channels too.
Yeah, I love that. And let's thank Mark for coming on, and check out Custom Box Agency. It's headquartered in Austin, Texas, right in my backyard. And, you know, very distinguished and really accomplished, and really enjoyed this conversation. And hopefully the listeners learn more about experiential marketing. And be sure to give his socials a like and follow. And thanks so much for coming on.
Doctors dedicate their lives to caring for others. It's time someone took care of you. Visit patternlife.com to simplify your path to peace of mind. Patternlife.com, simplifying your insurance journey.
I'm excited that you made it for another episode. You are truly the best. If you've been following the show for a while, you know that my passion is to bring you the education you need to find your path to financial freedom. Please come back week after week for new content, new resources, and great guests. Until then, if you haven't already, please be sure to check out the website, www.drchrislewmdphd.com, for more support. I'll see you next week.